Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Scrim cast here with Bobby J and Dr. Nutter. Well, we can just drop off the Nutter now. It's just a bad habit. But what's going on, man? We've got your team here, Ancient Templar, going up against Treemen.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see this. They versed Treemen in Cyber Game a couple of nights ago, and really interesting to see. I didn't get to catch that match. They played them on 2 King of the Hills. Apparently one of them was quite close, so we're looking forward to seeing how Treemen do here.
So they've done quite well the past few weeks, getting better and better results. CG on Tuesday night, they made it to the semi-finals, so that was against, as you just pointed out, against Ancient Templar. So a good feat for Treemen to make it to the semi-finals. Hopefully, with more scrims up against teams like Ancient Templar, we could see them putting on even better performances.
Yeah, their team has been around for a while. I remember versing them back in the Division 2 of GameStar, and we did beat them as training bots, but it was a very tough match, and they've been definitely steadily improving since then. And they're a really strong team with a lot of individual skill amongst them.
And speaking of improving, Ancient Templar now number one. Well, no, I'm going to say number one, but they were number one on Tuesday night with CG, so they're definitely climbing up the ranks, including the power rankings. So it's going to be when the next PR comes out. I'm very curious to see where other people rank them at.
Yeah, we're interested to see where they play. I think Fusion Girls are still going to be dominating the top of that, and right now getting straight into a Sparky. Sorry, Spoons opens up with a hook.
Yeah, with Zilla Force is down and out, along with Darklight. So good defense so far from Ancient Templar. Treemen really need to get on the back foot now because they're going to start having too many spawns delayed. If Adam, you just get out in time, doesn't get the hook from Spoons, so they're okay now.
Yeah, they went up to the high ground there. They had the Monkey of Darklight jump up the top. He dropped his shield, though, up the top, so not sure if we really wanted to. They should have been diving on the top because they don't have really a shield trade to go up the top there and set up. And then they set up there for way too long, and then Spoons just gets that hook onto the Genji of Zilla Force and just really just slow play with the dive comp right now.
Darklight jumps straight onto the checkpoint as the Nano Boost is quickly awoken, though, from the sleep dart as he's right next to the lift now, trying to get some damage down on top of Flake. But Graphics takes out Saphira as the battle's happening right near the dumpsters now. Wuvo does take out Graphics though in response. So still a good defensive hold here for Ancient Templar as they hit the whole hog with Spoons to finish everyone off with a nice double kill.
Yeah, we were forced to blow the tactical visor there because they jumped about 4 players onto Saphira there and they focused him down really quickly. They isolated him behind those blocks and he was pretty much caught out there. Not enough of the players of Ancient Templar getting in there to help him out quickly enough, so that was a really good dive. Not enough follow-up because they did force out that tactical visor which won them that fight at the end.
3 ults on the side of Ancient Templar, so they make it 4 now, so they're pretty comfortable in defense, only going up against a Dragon Blade, courtesy of Zilla Force. They do have the sound barrier and Graviton Surge about to come online as they're on the top side now, getting prepared to jump down. Darklight Shield begins to crack, so they have to pull the trigger now. They do that with Stein's Graviton Surge. Dragon Blade for Zilla Force is right in the middle of things, but there's 2 self-destructs. Project gets the better of the 2, getting a double kill.
Yeah, that Graviton Surge and that follow-up with the Diva Roll, it was just a little bit slow, and they came out of that Graviton Surge just before the Diva Roll was ready to explode. They moved away, and the thing is, Project, the moment that Grav came out, he instantly threw that ultimate up, so it was landed, it was ready to go. Both of them popped at about exactly the same time, just the players of Ancient Templar in a little bit of a better position. Treemen, they're coming close, but they did just have to use a Graviton Surge. Now they've swapped off, they put Signed onto this hog. Maybe just going to go for a little bit more picks here. They feel like they're falling behind with 1 or 2 picks early on in these fights, instead of relying on these big Grav-like combos that they just didn't get enough from that time.
Adam was the first player to get to the high ground. Darklight there soon to follow with the rest of the Treemen. Opting to go down the stairs now, unless they jump off. They do have their hog roaming around the far side, which is Signed. He gets the max range hook on top of Flake. He gets the boop off just in time. Weaver, there's the backup, the kill. Signed as the fight's going to happen now on top of the escort with the Nano Boost on top of Adam, but the mech's been popped, so they won't be able to use that Nano Boost, and this is quite devastating for the Treemen now with a lot of ultimates down.
Yeah, if they're going for that Nano Boost there on that Diva, that had to come a lot earlier. They did go with the flank with Signed early on. Unfortunately, he got the hook onto Flake, but Flake didn't die because he was on that stairwell. He landed a little bit too far away from Signed there, so he survived that combo. And then immediately, there was 3 players of Ancient Templar, Wuvo, Saphira, and Flake, who got hooked in, just took him out instantly. And then it was a bit of a staggered fight in from there. They'd already lost a player so early on.
Treemen pushing back on top of the point, but the shield was cracked for Darklight, so he has to drop it down. Sparky still has a little... No, his one cracks now, so a good opportunity for people to push in now. Treemen to get the hook on top of Sparky, take out his life. Darklight lands the Earth Shatter. Everyone's following up now. They're going to take control of the point with only a couple of members of Ancient Templar left.
Yeah, that self-destruct there coming out, it's going to give Project a little bit more delay. And because they haven't capped very much on this point, it looks like they're going to be able to come back with 5 other members and come in and contest this point. And especially with Sparky's ultimate, they could come in. It'll just come down to making sure that they come in all as one. Whereas when they went in there, they shield got broken so early, which allowed Treemen to walk in.
Wuvo's rotated around. He's got the attention of Adam. Flake hits the sound barrier. It's going to allow people from Ancient Templar to get back onto the point, but there's a body grenade landed on a couple of the tanks, and have to deal with the tactical visor of Zillaforce, who's already got a double kill. He gets 3 now on top of Flake, and this will be the point capped.
Yeah, a bit split push there coming in from Ancient Templar. They sent Wuvo around the light side, maybe trying to draw a few players away, but they instantly committed a couple of people on him, went over to take him out. And then a really good lane netted by Dallas there, just onto Sparky there, who had the Earth Shatter ready to go. He was in a good position, but he got so low quickly at the start of that fight, it wasn't really worth him using it there because they just took so much damage just trying to get in there.
Halo begins to push in through the doorway. Is the top side is trying to be contested here from Ancient Templar, but Project gets hooked down. The mech's been popped right behind it. The life has been taken away courtesy of Adam. So the escorts continue to push on here, Doctor, but we do see Ancient Templar on the top side.
Yeah, Slide's getting some amazing hooks off here, getting Project out of that fight really early on. There were 4 players there, they took him out instantly the moment he came down, not even having time to fly back up. And now Templar here, they're just bleeding in. They need to fall back and make sure that they don't get picked off again by Sign. They need to give him a little bit of respect on this hog right now.
Wuvo was uncontested. Adam is up there, and it's a good idea if he stays on Wuvo because he has that tactical visor ready to go. His team can join with him, but he's all alone. He's forced to run off and rejoin his team going through the right-hand door side. But Zillaforce takes out Wuvo, so they will be uncontested here. Treemen, and they're going to be able to cap moving on to the next point with 4 minutes 25 seconds on the clock, Doctor.
Yeah, really bled fight there from Ancient Templar, getting caught off over and over again here right now by Sign, who's just picking them apart on that hog. Getting 2 hooks off, or 3 hooks off that high ground, especially getting Saf off that high ground with Wuvo, because they were sitting up there, they wanted that nano boost tac visor. Taking out that Pharaoh just meant they really needed to just sit up and group up. And just by Sign getting those hooks off, it completely denied Ancient Templar really getting any stall out in that streets phase at all.
So 4 minutes, still some time left. It's still time. It's still a good time for Treemen to push on. Say they cap this within the next 2 minutes, it'd be a healthy time in the bank. Even though this map is generally offensive, the offensive team has the advantage. The fight's still going to happen right now, and from the escorts, quite spread out. With a lot of teams got the bionic grenade landed on themselves. The self-destruct being popped down by Adam's going to pick up the kill on top of Saphira. So a good opportunity now for Treemen to push on through. Yeah,
they got a really good fight there. They forced a little bit out of Ancient Templar, getting that self-destruct. Sorry, that self-destruct came out from Treemen there. They've pushed in quite well. They forced Sparky to play really aggressive on that payload, and they just kept Ancient Templar bleeding in.
The nano boost is on top of Wuvo, who's got to hit the tactical visor. He's right in the far side now. He's right behind behind the enemy lines. He picks up a quadra kill, so no answer to the nano boost tactical visor there from the Treemen.
Nice little flank by Wuvo and Sparky there. Sparky went through that little side door, coming up behind. Treemen not recognizing that, and he got a 3-man nurse shutter. And then with that tactical visor, they cleaned up with that nano boost. But right now, that was a 3 ultimates committed to that fight just to get the momentum a little bit back in their favor. And now there's 5 ultimates sitting on Treemen here, and they can commit a huge amount to win one of these fights. It'll come down to Spoons and Project. Also, Project's out of the mech right now, so it's just really Spoons here who's going to have to do a lot of work with this whole hog.
They have a lot of weight on his shoulders, and then here comes the Earth Shadow from Dark Light, and the whole hog comes out from Spoons, pushing people away. The sound barrier comes out from Flake just as it came online. Dark Light's been thrown up into the air with the whole hog, giving a lot of space for Ancient Templar to get some kills here, with Saphira and Wuvo getting 1 each. As the fight's still happening though on top of the escort, with the self-destruct's going to clear the area of Ancient Templar members. They start to regroup around the escort. Adam needs to be careful. He has Spoons right in his face. He's the only one left on top of the escort. Zillaforce is so far away that Adam is going to be left all alone. The mech's going to be popped and he's going to be trapped and just wait to die.
Yeah, that's a really late death there for Adam. They committed a lot to that fight, but that whole hog that came out of Spoons, it forced a lot of their players all over the place. One key thing is it forced Darklight pretty much up into the air for a lot of that fight and was completely out of it. They ended up using their whole hog into the corner, but it was a little bit too late. They'd split themselves up a lot going in for that attack, and they needed to commit together.
Oh, Sign gets the hook on top of Wuvo. It was so close that it even went through the floor. So Wuvo just a little bit unfortunate there. He got clipped in the head. His Project... Sparky lands an Earth Shatter in the background there and charges in. He's got the nano boost on top of him as well, so he's swinging left and right. Project gets a triple kill as well, so safe. Nice defense coming out from Ancient Templar with only 1:25 left.
Yeah, that's the second time Sparky's gotten away with that nice little cheeky flank. I think he's getting speed boosted and getting him really quick. And when the Rhino's not at the front of your team, Treemen need to recognize that and find him quickly, because an Earth Shatter from behind does a huge amount of damage you saw, and then comboing it up with the self-destruct, nothing they could do there to stop that push. Defense, sorry.
Sign just misses the hook with Adam now going up to the high ground to try and prevent Wuvo getting damaged down. He's being pretty instrumental in the defense here of Ancient Templar. Spoons hits the whole hog. He's already cleaned up here for a double kill. He's looking for more. Everyone's pushing out now of Ancient Templar, trying to get some picks.
Yeah, Spoon's putting a lot of pressure on side now. He's really going for those hooks on that opposing hog, and it's giving Wuvo a little bit more room to work with up on the high ground. They need to give Wuvo, if he's going to sit up on this high ground, which he was before, he needs to have a huge amount of room and not get himself picked sign. They identify where that hog is, and from there he pokes out, making sure he doesn't poke out before they know where that hog is.
How did Spoons get that hook? That was just narrowly through a tiny gap to get that hook on the Zilla Force.
Yeah, sometimes you say hook working as intended when maybe not, you never know.
But it works out for Spoons' case here, and he gets the kill on top of Darklight. Earthshadow does come out from, I believe that was Sparky, so he charges up. Too many members surrounding the entranceways here for anyone from Treemen to get through. They're trying to help get through there with the self-destruct. It's not going to be able to work. Sound barrier here for everyone on Ancient Templar. No one can get through, so successful defense. They had a good first hold there, Doctor, but it was the second phase that kind of let down Ancient Templar, and they wound out with a lot of minutes on the clock to defend on the third point.
Yeah, that was a pretty weak second point there from Ancient Templar. They got themselves caught out three times by Signed in that second stage. They really need to fall back. You've really got to make sure in this Streets phase, if you're going to sit on that high ground, your Reinhardt needs to be there somewhere. He can't be coming into this high ground really late like that Sparky was. At that point, they should have committed to that low ground and not got themselves picked, which was really well done by Treemen, making sure they got signed up on that hog. When they stopped him on that first point eventually, they did a lot better and pushed through. So hog really strong there from Sign, which was a key factor for them to push through. And a bit of mistakes out of Ancient Templar just bleeding in one by one.
And Spoons, you mentioned with Spoons he had a lot of weight on his shoulders with the whole hog, and he definitely kept Darklight up in the air and juggled him to make sure he was out of the fight. So Spoons definitely came big and came through with that whole hog.
Yeah, that whole hog was absolutely huge because it really split the fight, and it was a big ult advantage for Treemen. They probably would have been thinking there's probably 4, maybe 5 ultimates, maybe even 6. They could have been guessing for all 6, so they had to get a lot out of it. They also dropped the beats in that fight, so just the whole hog, it's a really disruptive. It does a lot of damage. It can do a huge amount of damage on a whole hog. It pushes you away, but when you push someone into a corner and push them up that high out of the fight, your main tank who's meant to be frontlining there is gone, and then the Treemen just split themselves up, not really having a point of reference to group up and hide behind. And from there, they split themselves really. If Treemen had stayed grouped there, they could have still gone in with a huge ult advantage, but a bit of misplay out from them that really enabled Ancient Templar to keep holding out there.
Treemen still have the opportunity, though, to hold here on defense. They're going to opt for a builder strategy here, so they're going with the Symmetra and the Tourbillon.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of a Korean strat. We see Korean's teams running a lot more of this Symmetra and Torb. They get a lot of value out of it. And if you do get this shield generator up, or even teleporter, the moment you start stacking that armor and shield gen, it's a huge amount of HP to work through. But it looks like Ancient Templar are going to play quite aggressive with this Genji.
A lot of the turrets are here on the checkpoint, so they're not going to have it near the spawn point to get that early boost in ult percentage for Symmetra. So they're going to have to deal with that loss as Ancient Templar move onto the checkpoint now. Adam's going to move up right into Sparky's face to try and prevent him to getting on top of the checkpoint. Sparky is a little bit low, but Spoon's there to join him now. There's Ancient Templar, and they're not backing away. They're pretty comfortable to fight here, and they've already taken out graphics, and Adam now is completely swarming the point, so they weren't afraid at all to engage their Doctor.
Yeah, the fact that they took out, I think it was Darklight extremely early in that fight. They took out him. Really good hook by Spoons. That shield dropped for a split second. Landing that hook on the Reinhardt, once you're a Reinhardt up with your opponent, is a huge deal. It's a 2,000 HP shield in front of your team gone. From there, just Spoons was over. Free run to keep throwing out hooks. He got the hook on the Symmetra. Didn't take him out, but it really disrupted them through that first point. So they really need to make sure they don't lose their Reinhardt that early, because that one hook pretty much won that fight for Ancient Templar.
We've managed to take out graphics as well, and trying to prevent people from getting on the top side now. Saphira takes out Zilla Force, so no higher ground advantage here for the Treemen, which we saw before when Ancient Templar were on defense, when they couldn't have the high ground advantage. It really makes it harder to defend here in the second phase.
Yeah, you've got two choices here. You can just group up and stay for the low ground. If you do go for the high ground defense, you need to make sure everybody's there at the same time. And especially with the Genji, they can apply a lot of pressure up there. They have swapped Zilla Force to this Pharah, but Sappho is doing a great job to put a lot of pressure in the air.
Nano boost on top of Wuvo. He hits the Dragon Blade, but he's been hooked by Sign, who saves the day, takes out Wuvo with 2 ultimates gone from Ancient Templar now.
Yeah, that's a huge committal there from Ancient Templar to get absolutely nothing out of. It's a really risky play when you run a Genji to something that goes that far in, except Project here just gets a triple self-destruct that's going to just make up for everything they lost there in that previous fight.
Man, speaking of members that had to have weight on their shoulders when they had the ultimates that were key to winning a fight, Project comes huge with Spoons earlier in defense, so Ancient Templar definitely very comfortable with Spoons and Project being on D.Va and Roadhog.
Yeah, really good combination, especially on attack there. The D.Va's eating damage, just shutting down a huge amount of stuff early on. And then you see the Hog really just opens up a huge amount. Wuvo not doing a huge amount of stuff at the moment. He's putting a lot of pressure on, which is allowing the rest of his tanks. This time, he's the one making space. They use that Dragon Blade and the boost. It didn't get much for it, but it meant that we saw Ancient Treemen played hugely aggressive and probably over-aggressive, which allowed Project to get that self-destruct off. From there, just really good plays out from a lot of the players that allowed them to keep pushing through.
You do see that there is 3 ultimates on the side of Treemen now in defense. So with the Nano Boost, don't make that forward. Nano Boost, Rocket Barrage would be a pretty good combination now for them to get the defense back on their side. Well, the momentum back on their side, but the sound barrier has been popped by both sides here. As the Dragon Blade's been popped by Wuvo, as I try and get the camera on here for you. He's already picked up a double kill. He's looking for more. Cleaning house here, forcing Signed out of the fight as well. So everyone can keep moving this escort up, and the spawn rush is going to happen now, Doctor. If anyone can get back.
They're just going to be able to keep pushing back. Huge amount of pressure there applied by Wuvo. Pretty solid push there from Ancient Templar. Their defense, though, was lacking a little bit on that second point there.
So Treemen didn't really have an answer to the Genji other than that one hook that Sign got off that stopped Wuvo with the Nano Boost, which was pretty fortunate for them. But then we saw Project get the triple kill with the self-destruct, which completely turned everything upside down for the Treemen.
Yeah, just that self-destruct, you apply that pressure, you see you've got a good advantage, a really solid advantage there for them since they took out Wuvo, which was their combo, that boost and Dragon Blade. And then just from there, they played just a little bit too aggressive, and that pushed them far enough up that Project was able to throw that D.Va self-destruct behind them and get a triple kill and just really just flip that fight back in their favor.